Hello, Jessica. Thank you so much for including your work here. We got the link to the article. Good job. It's a good article. I read it. I think it's really good. Great article to use as well. So good job. Good choice. And then you've got a nice description here as in regards to your design decisions for the three different sketches. Good job. Good descriptions. And let's go ahead and jump right in here. So I think the first two actually are a little problematic. And let me describe the reasoning. So basically what you have sketched out here is don't forget now, this is a two-page spread, right? So you have 8.5 by 11 for a total of 11 by 17. So it looks like right here you're depicting on an 11 by 17 page, but what you're not depicting is the fact that it's a double page spread, meaning it's not a single 11 by 17 composition. It's actually two 8.5 by 11 compositions next to each other, resulting in an 11 by 17, right? So you have 8.5 by 11, 8.5 by 11 together equals 17 inches wide, 8.5 inches high. The problem is that when those two pages come together, that's called a gutter, right? And from our lectures this week, we've learned that that's called a gutter. And the gutter is a very problematic area to design within, specifically because those pages will fold together right there. Being that would be the center fold, the fold of the magazine, right? So the fact that you have a text column right in a fold is going to be a problem because that text is going to fold up, and if you take any magazine and open it up, look at how the page behaves when it's open up sitting on a desk. The pages kind of come like this, and they come in the middle and they fold together like that, right? They come in like that, and there's some distortion in that center gutter by sheer nature of the three-dimensional the way that the pages are three-dimensional as they sit in a folded magazine, right? So for that reason, it could be very problematic to have an actual text column residing in the gutter. We see that here, and we see that here. We don't see it here because theoretically it looks like this is one 8.5 page here and one 8.5 here. Images on the left, title area, and then typography on the right-hand page. Let's take a look at this. Now, I think this is an interesting setup. I think the page mechanics is good, but this is a problem. So you may consider taking two columns in each page instead of three columns total, so that you would have a space in the middle. So two columns here of type on the left-hand page, two columns of type on the right-hand page. Then you can have the headline. Now, don't forget, you're still going to have some distortions based on the fact that headline is spanning the gutter. Okay, so be careful there. We see the same thing here. So we'd have the gutter somewhere right here. Okay, and then that's going to create distortions in the type and in this area. So again, the idea behind designing a spread is to design both pages together, but design them as a spread, taking into consideration the fact that there is going to be a fold in the middle, okay? And then we talked about that a little bit. So as far as page mechanics, I think this is pretty good, except for the obvious issues with the gutter and the fold. This, I think, is interesting. One problem we're going to have here is the fact that you've got a lot of visual identifiers. Each one of these visual identifiers, and you call them icons in your writing, but each one of these is going to draw attention to that area for one reason or another, typically to indicate a new passage of type or a new topic within the same layout. So you really want to be careful how you use these, because each one of these is saying to the viewer, hey, look at me, I'm right here. So it could theoretically throw off your hierarchy by using all of these little icons in the beginning of each new paragraph. I think this is a little bit, be careful on how you work your typography here, because right now, this, as you work with this one, it could almost look like two pages. So you have to make sure, and the reason being is because typically we're used to seeing a title on the left-hand side, top of the page, then subhead. We have head, subhead, little intro paragraph, start the text, and then continue the text. But in this configuration, we've got the title over here, so you want to make sure there's a high degree of similarity between the left-hand side of the spread and the right-hand side of the spread. And the reason being is because we don't want the viewer to think that the article starts here and to disregard the left-hand side of the spread. That makes sense. As far as where we go from here, it's really, I want to leave it up to you. I just want to bring out some of those areas that could technically be problematic, just so you're aware of them as you move forward. Now, in moving forward, I want you to really consider my comments, really consider the mechanics of what you have on the page here, and then consider how you can improve it moving forward. So I don't want to direct this project, but I do want to say, hey, think about what I've said, take a look at your work, decide what has the most potential, what you're most passionate about moving forward, then decide how you want to move forward. Quite possibly, you may scrap these 3 ideas and come up with a new one. I'm okay with that, as long as you're showing sketches, as long as you're taking into consideration all of the problems and all of the conditions that exist in a 2-page spread, which a lot of them were covered in week 1, week 1 reading. You'll be okay. If you get stuck, if you need help, please let me know. I'm right here. But just keep moving forward and decide what would be the best way for you to go from here. And again, like I said, it could, if you want to, reconfigure your layout and resubmit, I'll be glad to make additional comments. But go ahead and take those comments into consideration moving forward. All right, fantastic. If you have any questions, I'm right here. Just let me know. All right, great job. Thank you.